Cubert and Cubert. It's not me. I did only the interiors. One is Krista Piranca, and the other one is Jasmine Putri. So it's go get them all. So
Okay.
it's 30 pages of pure joy, guys. It's
There.
fantastic. The story is great.
Welcome back to the Comics Cube, everyone. We are back with Maria Laura Sanapo. Welcome
Hi,
back.
everyone. Hi, everyone. So happy to be here again. Thank you so much for having me here.
We are talking about Truth and Justice, number 5 in the print copy. It's
Yeah,
number
number
5.
five. Yeah.
Batwoman with you and Grace Ellis. Tell me, how did you feel when you got this assignment?
Well, when I was asked to do this assignment, I was so happy. And the first thing I saw it was 30 pages only for me. And I just got the the comic, and I am so happy to be part of this because, well, all this book, all the pages, well, the 30 pages in this book are all done by me, and oh my god. So when my editor Michael McAllister, and I really thank him for giving me this opportunity, when he asked me to do a 30 pages Batwoman story, I was like, oh yes, I'm absolutely interested because it's the first time I draw a Batwoman story. It's a new character for me, and I really learned to know this character during this story. And oh my goodness, well, I already knew the story of Kate Kane, but I didn't draw it. I have never. Well, it was the first time for me. So oh my god, I was so happy. I'm proud to be on it. Absolutely, yes.
What makes and it's a three-parter too. So, your Wonder Woman one was a two-parter. This one was a three-part. You get the full
Yeah,
comic. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, this is fantastic. In fact, when I got this, I couldn't believe. I was like, really? Oh my god! And so I was so excited to do that. So it's divided in three parts. In digital, it's chapter 13, 14, and 15.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the story develops in a great way. The story is fantastic. It was the first time for me working with Grace Ellis, and oh, she's so brilliant. She is so brilliant. The story was so fluent that I didn't realize that I was drawing an 8 panel page, and it was so fluently. So I didn't. Okay, this is an 8 panel page. I didn't. Wow, it was so I was having so much fun that I didn't realize that. So I finished the page, and I was like, this is a very long page, but I didn't feel that because I'm having so much fun. And because normally, that American comics have 4 or 5 panels per page, 8 panels is a lot, but you don't feel it. If you work with Grace, oh my God, it's so funny. It's so fun. It's fantastic. I had a ball. So yes.
Sometimes American comics have just one panel per page.
Yeah, the classical splash page,
Yeah.
splash page. So you have to, which is not easy, because in one page, in one panel, you have to put everything. So you have to tell a story in one panel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Say something in one panel. So yes, it's not easy.
What makes Kate Kane a special character?
Well, Kate Kane is absolutely one of us. Everybody can identify with Kate Kane. I think that she has a very painful story. Kate Kane witnessed the murder of her mother and her twin sister when she was a child. So the great thing is that she decided to help the humankind, the humanity, and to transform her life. Okay, to turn her life into something better. And she doesn't have superpower like Wonder Woman, for example, but she her superpower is her will to be herself, to fight, to stand up for her rights. So I absolutely love this character. She's absolutely one of us, and a lot of people can identify with Kate Kane. So she is fantastic. I love the character, absolutely.
I always say her origin story is one of my favorite origins that I've
Yeah.
ever read. It's such a good story. What is the main difference between working on someone like Batwoman versus someone like Wonder Woman? You know, no superpowers, a cape, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
practical boots.
Yeah. I love that boots. I
Yeah.
really love that boots. I would like to have a pair of that boots. Absolutely. Wonder Woman and Batwoman are similar, but so different in many ways. Uh, they have different. First of all, they have different origins. So
Mhm.
the great thing about DC character is that they have their own story. So, for example, Kate Kane, as I said before, has a very sad and painful story. So she comes from a trauma, okay, and she is doing, a human revolution, a revolution of her story. So she was inspired by Batman. She decides to help the humanity. And Wonder Woman instead uh, has superpowers. Okay, she's a goddess. She comes from Themyscira, which is a paradise. So she's a princess. She has a totally different background. But the great thing about Wonder Woman is that she decides to put her superpowers at humanity's service. Okay, so she decides that I don't want to see everything perfect. This is not the reality. I know that outside Themyscira there is something more. People are suffering, so I want to help people. And this is admirable because she could stay on Themyscira and just doing the princess, okay, living a princess life, but she decides to to help people with our superpowers. So we have two strong women with two different backgrounds, but they are both very brave.
Mhm.
So they stand up for the right, and they are not afraid to be what they are. And that's the point. Because Kate Kane, okay, I'm what I am. I'm proud to be myself. And Wonder Woman is the same, absolutely. So yes, they are fantastic in many
What
ways.
What about visually? Is it harder to draw somebody with a cape or
The cape is not easy to draw because if you want to be believable and solid when you're drawing, of course, the cape has to follow the movement. Um, Wonder Woman is different because she has the costume, she has the hair, okay? But Batwoman, in my opinion, it's not only has not only the cape, but she is darker. So when you draw a character like Wonder Woman or Batwoman, you have to adapt a little bit to the character. So
Mhm.
when I drew Batwoman, I was aware that everything had to be darker because the character it's darker, okay, and of course the mask, the cape are not easy, and you have to render them the best way, the most believable way possible. Absolutely.
Uh, I just thought of this question right now. I am very curious. Is it difficult to draw a character in a black costume in a story set at night?
If you know the rules of chiaroscuro, you can play with that. Okay,
Hmm.
so um, of course you have to make a distinction, otherwise you won't see the character. It's a matter of reading the image. Okay, so you try to put the character, maybe if for example, if Batwoman is black, okay, you can put her on her a raking light, okay, to make her pop up. Or if you don't want to do that, since she's black, you can put her on a white space, okay, so on near a wall. It depends on the background, but there are a lot of things that you can play with, talking about chiaroscuro. So it's great. It's a challenge.
Yeah, so Batwoman, of course, is a very prominent LGBT character and maybe even DC's most prominent. I'm not sure.
one of the
maybe.
most prominent for
Well,
sure.
one of the most prominent. And
Yeah.
it's Pride Month. So how does it feel about working on Batwoman? And have the comic come out in this particular month.
Well, I am absolutely proud to be on the project because it is Kate Kane is the demonstration that you're not wrong whatever you decide to be. Okay, you have to be yourself, and I think that happiness is absolutely the most important aim in the world for people. So if you're happy, you are okay. So I think that it was fantastic for me to be on the project, also because I have many gay and lesbian friends, and I've seen them suffering so much, especially during the when we were teenagers. And I, it's like I'm bringing a message. Okay, you're fantastic the way you are. You're not wrong. Don't feel wrong. And I'm doing it, of course, because I believe in that, and also for my friends because they feel represented by that. And I'm so happy to do this, to contribute to that. And so for this reason, it is one of the most beautiful projects I worked on. Absolutely, I love that. And but it is important. It is important, especially when you live in a small town like my town. Okay, so a lot of I've seen a lot of friends moving abroad just because they felt wrong, and it is sad. Okay, so when they will see this story, they will be happy, and absolutely, it makes me very very glad.
Same. I completely understand because I come from a very religious country, so I've seen several gay friends leave the country and never come back, or
Yeah,
just never, or like they stay here and they just never tell their family, you know?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
quite sad. It's nice to have
It,
something that says,
it's very sad. I remember one of my friends, one of my best friends, when he decided to do coming out with me when we were teenagers, and he was crying. So he was so sad. He was crying, and he was saying, "Maria, I have to confess you something." And I was like, he was so worried that I was like, "Okay, you have to confess me something. Did you kill anybody? What should I be worried about it?" And it was like, "No, Maria, I don't. I'm gay." And I was like, "Okay, what's the problem?" Because he was afraid I wouldn't love him anymore as a friend. Like, you are like my brother. What's the problem? What's the problem? So it's very important for me to be on this project. Also because I've seen a lot of friends suffering, and
yeah,
my God, and
yeah,
yeah, it's very you suffer with that, and oh my God, because they are not wrong. You're not wrong. You're beautiful, fantastic. So you're a fantastic person. Well, what's the
yeah.
problem? Absolutely.
I remember the first time a friend came out to me was, he felt really bad and he was saying like, I don't know if you're still gonna be my friend after this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he told me he was gay, and that was October 2001. And I said, "What's the problem?" And he goes, "Don't you find it
Yeah.
disgusting?" And I'm like, "Last month was 9/11. I find that disgusting."
Yes, that's what I meant. It's like what's the problem? But I understand because he was afraid that I wouldn't see him. That probably I would see him under a different light, and I was like, what? What's the problem? Did you kill anybody? No. Okay, so what's the problem? So you're not doing anything wrong. Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy with this guy, and okay, I want you to be happy. Well, what's the problem? So yes, I remember it very well.
So I have to ask you, Maria, with
Yeah.
something like Batwoman, how do you think it would have been different, for example, for you and your friends, if comics like this had existed when you were teenagers?
It would have been great. But I think that probably at that time, um, people weren't ready. I don't know, there is a sort of preparation before. People have to get used to that, I think, because otherwise it can be criticized and maybe the effect can be worse. Um, so I, I'm talking about Italy when I was a teenager, of
Hmm.
course. So I don't know that probably my in my place people weren't ready enough, weren't prepared, and it's silly to say that people need to be prepared to something so natural. That it's very, it's very silly, but the world, it's in this way. So I hope it will change a lot.
Did did you ever think we would get to this point where you're working on an LGBT book during Pride Month?
Uh, well, to this point, what do you mean with this point?
Like, did you ever think when you were a teenager, did you ever think
Oh
that
yeah.
you would, yeah.
Well, I hope that I could contribute one day to this thing, to this kind of, this kind of, uh, to do my contribution to this world and to make everybody understand that everybody is fantastic the way he or she is.
Yeah.
And I think that happiness is the most important thing. If you're happy with respecting the other people, of course, if you're happy, everybody will be happy. I want to see my friends happy because I love them. So
Yes.
it's the most important thing for me. That that's absolutely vital to me.
The one of the things that I really liked about the story that you did with Grace was that um let's see, Kate and Maggie are not getting along. And I think I think it's representative to show that, that the lesbian couples don't get along all the time. Like they're just like every couple. They have arguments and they fight. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are like, yeah. Well, they are a couple. Well, they sometimes argue. Sometimes they don't get along. There's something that, well, I don't agree. Okay, or I want to stay at home. No, I want to go out. Well, it's a relationship, so it's absolutely, yeah. You absolutely. This is a very interesting question because it's a couple. So
mhm.
it's like me and Marco sometimes. Well, let's go out. Oh, I'm tired, but I want to go out. Oh, that's a couple. Okay, so it's absolutely the same.
Who usually wins when you two fight? Is it you?
We have a very strong personality. Oh, it depends. It depends. It depends.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, sometimes I win. Sometimes he wins just because I let him win. So, but that's not true. But yeah, we respect each other a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing between us is that if I have to say something or vice versa, we speak a lot. Okay, so Marco, this is not working for me. I don't think it's okay. And he says the same thing when he sees that something is not. Well, Maria, I don't agree. I think that it's better. Or yeah, we're very talkative to each other, so we talk a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. What is it like working with Grace Ellis, the working relationship?
Well, I never met Grace. I would like to meet her one day because the great thing about my job is that you understand something about the writer's personality, and
Hmm.
it's great. And I think that, well, working with Grace Ellis is fantastic because she is very, very brilliant. She's very brilliant. And the great thing is that she is absolutely one of the best writers to represent Kate Kane. Uh, she represents her very well. It's Kate. I was reading the script and I was telling, oh yeah, it's Kate. Kate would do that. Kate wouldn't do that. It's like she understood perfectly the character. And the great thing about working with her is that she leaves me free. So, for example, she writes, okay, we are in the mountain, or we are in a pub. Okay, there is a scene in a pub, but she tells me where we are, but she leaves me free to, for example, to represent the bartender as I would like to. So I feel free in my creative process. And that's fantastic. Fantastic. So she writes magnificently. She's so brilliant. She shines. So I would like to work with her again. She's great.
That's a great segue to my next question, which is what's next, Maria, for you?
Well, you know that I cannot reveal too much. So well, in this moment, in this very moment, I'm working for Dynamite on covers. Okay, it's a project related. Well, I do the covers, not the interiors. It's a project related to Vampirella.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest thing about this project is that I can play with a costume. Okay, so when my Matt Idelson, my editor, asked me, Maria, you can invent the costume. I was like, oh my goodness, yes, I like it. I like it. I can do whatever I want with the Vampirella costume. So stay tuned. And there is another one, a big one, a big cover, but I cannot reveal too much also about this because we have to announce this. But stay tuned. There is another cover coming along, which is very interesting. The project is very interesting. So stay tuned. I will post everything on my social media. So when it will be the time. So I cannot reveal too much. It's like when you cannot, you're very enthusiastic and you're very happy to do that, but you cannot talk about it too much. So I will at the right time. I will.
I know that currently you are teaching classes at the Cubert School.
Yeah,
How is that
yeah,
going?
it's fantastic. Um, and I'm doing online courses 6 weeks, and I'm also doing in these weeks single classes. They are 2 hour classes about one topic per class. It's anatomy, perspective, character design, and fabric and folds. And it is to, well, I did a sort of survey with students and I asked them what they would like to learn on a course. Okay, and I understood that students normally want to learn these topics. So we have these classes and these single classes, and I already got some, a lot of students signed to these classes, and I cannot wait to do them. I cannot wait because it's great to share, okay, what to do with other people. So like other people did with me, and I'm still doing. So it's great. I thank Anthony Marcus for that. Absolutely, he's the director of the school, and he gave me the possibility to do that. I'm
And
enthusiastic.
if people want to take these classes, do they just go to the Cubert School
Yeah,
website?
yeah. The website is www.cuberschool.edu. So they can sign to the classes there, and it's $50 per class. So if they are interested, they they can apply.
It's $50 per class. That's
$50 per class. It's 2 hours class. It's just one class.
that's that's a that's a bargain.
Really?
I think so. I think so. Sometimes I see classes well, at least here, sometimes I see classes going for more than that and I'm like, okay. But
Yeah. Well, our philosophy is to give the possibility to everybody because you know you can be super talented, but if you cannot afford the classes, it's not right that other people can go further. Okay, so we want to give the possibility to everybody, well, to the majority of people to attend the classes because there are so many talented students out there, and I can witness that. There are so many people. They are fantastic. They really have the gift. Okay, so it's right. A lot of people can apply to these classes if they want.
Okay. Here's my last question. As you know, I want as a kid I had a copy of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
Hi, really? You have it?
Yeah, I still have it. And then
Yeah,
I skipped straight to scribbling, which was a mistake because you're not
I
supposed to do
saw
that.
you. I saw you.
What's the most common mistake aspiring artists make before, when they're still new?
Refer to that point, the scribbling,
Or
or in
anything
general.
in
In general,
general.
well, it can be related because sometimes I hear a lot of students tell me, Maria, I wanted to find my style, and I'm like, okay, do you know perspective? Do you know anatomy first? Do you know you have to learn the rules? Picasso told that you have to know the rules and then you have to break them. But first, you have to know them.
Hmm.
So don't don't have to rush to find your style, to be original, to be unique if you don't know the rules, the best rules. So um, I know that at the beginning it's boring, but don't have rush. It's absolutely important.
So no, don't rush.
Yeah.
Eventually, people will find their style.
Well, yeah, it comes later. It comes later, and sometimes the style you will find your style, and the style you have is not the style you imagine. So
Mm.
it tells a lot about your personality. So, for example, you can draw like Adam Hughes, and you end up drawing like Mike Mignola. It's like it's a surprise. Okay, so
Yeah.
go on, let it flow. Okay, it's like a river, so let it flow, and you will find it. Keep no better. The style will find you. So you only have to exercise. Don't have rush.
So when did you find your style, and what did you think your style was going to be before you
Oh
found your style?
well, I think that I'm still evolving. You never stop. Um, I am seeing that with when the time passes, at the beginning you start looking at certain artists. Then you go on working, and that artist, and you don't look at that artist anymore. Not because the artist is not good. Well, it's always good, but your perception changes a lot. So your style evolves with the artist you look at, okay, to inspire yourself. Because there's something in that artist that inspires you, and the way of inking or doing anatomy is similar to your conception. So you take from it. Then time passes and maybe you change. So I think that you can find your style, you can be sure about your style after probably 20 years. So I am still going on, and I'm waiting for you whenever you want. Yeah, but I know that probably I can see the direction of my style. I probably, well, in this time, this day, in these years, I'm looking a lot at Dave Stevens, for example.
Hmm.
I'm, yeah, I have always had, some issues with the inks before, not anymore, but before I was like, I had something to improve on my inks. I looked at Dave Stevens and oh my god, oh yes, it's in this way. Oh my god. So you solve a lot of things looking at the right artist that it's good for you. So I'm evolving. I'm a Pokemon after all. I'm evolving. So every artist is like a Pokemon. You know, you will evolve yourself better and better.
I'm going to quote you on that. Every artist is like a Pokemon.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. I'm a Pokemon. Yeah, you evolve.
Next time I talk to Marco, I'll tell him that too. Marco,
You
what
live.
kind of Pokemon are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Marco can be. I don't know. The one maybe the one who sings Jigglypuff. No, Jigglypuff. No, because of the hair. He has something like always the hair. I was like and the color of the skin. Yes, like I am Pikachu, so it's
Okay.
yes,
Thank you so much, Maria. This was
yeah,
this
yeah.
was great.
The conversation has generated, but you know me, so it's okay.
And so will the viewers.
Okay.
Now they're gonna ask to play Pokemon Go with you.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I never played that, so probably I
Neither
would
have
do
I.
that quickly. We could try. We could try. Absolutely.
You heard it here, guys. You can try playing
Yeah,
Pokemon Go.
we can do a sort of live stream. You in the Philippines and I'm in Italy, so playing Pokemon with the phone like this. I found one. It's like a. I love the idea.
Except we'd have to be on our computer, so we can't really move.
So in my studio it's very small. Okay. I will find a very.
Thank you, Maria. This was great. Um, everybody, go get Truth and Justice number 5.
Yes, and well, we have to. The last thing I want to say, we have two Baron Covers. It's not me. I did only the interiors. One is Krista Peranca, and the other one is Jasmine Putri. So it's go get them all. So it's 30 pages of pure joy, guys. It's fantastic. The story is great.
Thank you, Maria. This was
Thank you
great.
so much.